What's the lie you believed the longest in your life? Okay, I'm going to sound dumb here. I loved the movie Pretty Woman as a young kid. I asked why people were mean to her and my mom said, because she's a redhead. She was wearing a blonde wig in the beginning and in real life, kids teased the redhead kids, so it checked out. Years later, I'm 22 and my friend says she wants to watch it. Cool, I loved it when I was little. We started and right away I'm like, oh my god, she's a prostitute. I thought the gold coin in her boot was a chocolate coin, like you'd get on St. Patrick's Day. One time, my mom was at the store and brought home something for herself, my sister and my dad. 5-year-old me was like, what did you get for me? And to prevent me from feeling left out, she reached into the bag and said, oh, I got you this potato masher. And for years, before anyone mashed any potatoes, they came and asked me if they could use it. Hopefully, when you moved out of your parents' house, you took your potato masher with you. After all, that thing was apparently your first piece of property. That I was allergic to hamsters. My mom told me that after I got an allergy test when I was 9. I was about 26 when I finally put it together that she hated rodents and just wanted me to stop asking for a pet hamster. Turns out, the only thing I was actually allergic to was my mother's patience. Much less wholesome, my mom told us kids growing up that she was allergic to cats and dogs. As an adult, I was talking to her sister one day and mentioned what a bummer it was that we couldn't have pets growing up because of it. She looked at me funny and said, that was absolutely a lie. We had tons of pets growing up. She just didn't want the hassle. When I was very young, we had a pet hamster. He got out of his cage, so my dad put the cage in the basement, thinking he might get hungry and get back in. One morning I woke up and there was the hamster in his cage in the usual place. I asked my mom how they found him and she told me she opened the door to the cellar and there he was, dragging his cage back upstairs. It wasn't until I was a teenager and remembered the exchange that it occurred to me she obviously made that up. I'm sorry, that probably bums you out that she lied to you that way. But I have to tell you, the visual of the hamster dragging his cage up the stairs made me laugh out loud. I mean, I read it twice and still laughed the second time. Me too. Dragging the cage up the stairs, lol. Here is a woman not used to lying. She feels the need to add an absurd, impossible detail. Real liars know to keep it short and simple. We found him in the cage. That the dog went to an actual farm. Took about 30 years before the realization hit. Oh my god, I have the opposite story. We were told the old, yeah, he went to a farm about my grandparents' dog. My cousins and I all accepted that they lied to make us feel better. Years later, we brought it up to my grandma and turns out, he really did go to a farm, because he ended up growing significantly larger than expected and they felt guilty not having enough space for him to get proper exercise. My cat brought a lizard into the house. It was still alive. I decided to build it a terrarium and nurse it back to health. I did so and then released it back into the wild a few days later. My mom told me that the cat immediately went outside and ate the lizard after I had released it when I was 18. She and my dad knew I'd be devastated, so they lied by omission and didn't tell me. The way she sat me down to tell me scared the shit out of me. I thought she was going to tell me something dreadful. I thought I saved that lizard for years. I had 3 pet mice that turned into what seemed like 100 mice when I was a kid. Got home from school one day and I had 0 mice. Mom told me she had to take them to the pet store because it was just too many. Sad as I was, I believed her. I was 15 when I found out it was actually the cat who got into the cage and caused a mouse massacre with no survivors. She said it was the worst thing she'd ever had to clean up and didn't want me to hate the cat. Still hated it just for other reasons. While dating, my husband made a joke about the Chicago Bulls disbanding after their second three-peat. I'm not a big sports ball fan, so I thought he was serious. Just being funny. He told me this whole story about it being done because they kept winning and wanted to give other teams a chance. So the players all went to the other teams. I bought it hook, line and sinker. He was amused and we went about life. From time to time, the Chicago Bulls' 90s glory would come up as a topic, and I would comment on how awesome it was that they were such good sportsmen that they disbanded to give others a chance. The first time I repeated it, my husband couldn't believe I still thought that was true and was so amused he didn't correct me. Every time it came up, he said it got funnier and funnier, and at one point he decided to see how long it would go on. Cue about 8 years later and I'm at work and it's the NBA playoffs. Lo and behold, someone says the Bulls are their favorite team. Cue my typical comment. WTF did you just say? The jig was up and I went home and said, hey, did you know the Bulls never stopped being a team? My husband almost wet himself, he was laughing so hard and said, someone finally told you? I'll admit, it's pretty funny. This is absolutely fantastic in every wonderful way that my mom was a redhead. For years I thought she was a natural redhead. She was 40 when I entered the picture, so I always knew she dyed her hair. Just thought it was to cover up her grays. When I was about 35, my niece clued me in on a family secret. When my mom first spotted my dad at work back in the day, she asked around about him. Someone told her, he only dates redheads. Mom started dyeing her hair from brown to red, and sure enough, she got the date. And eventually, she got the ring. I never suspected. Photos from the 50s were like black and white or sepia, and her brown hair looked like it could have been red. But she had 5 kids and none of us are gingers. Just wasn't something I ever thought about or suspected. And yeah, Dad knows, but didn't broadcast it to us kids. So I believed that for ages. Red hair has to be on both sides of the gene pool. That if I went to college, worked hard, I'd be successful and get a good paying job and be financially set for life. I have a PhD. And even with a decently well-paying job, I'm living paycheck to paycheck and feel like I never get ahead. Will never own a home. Won't be able to retire. Will never be comfortable. It was all for nothing. That if you treat others the way you want to be treated, they'd do the same with you. Biggest lie I was ever told. That along with, if I'm a nice person, do my best and try harder, it'll be good. It is not good. And none of those sayings matter at all. Not me, but my eldest sister. We were talking about oceans and fish and she told me that the Atlantic is fresh water, lol. I was like, no, this is something we all learned in geography and science classes. All the oceans are salt water. She didn't believe me and looked it up. She was like, yeah, you're right. I thought this whole time it was the other way around. So apparently she has believed that the oceans were freshwater most of her life. Share your stories about the biggest lies in your life in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it. See you in the next video.